Have you ever stood in front of something simple, like an ATM, and felt your heart race, not because of money, but because the screen spoke English? Sometimes, the smallest moments test the biggest parts of us, and one brave learner discovered that confidence can begin with just one word, one click, one choice to try. Have you ever faced a moment when your heart beat faster, not because of danger, but because you had to speak English in public? That's what happened to Ahmed one ordinary afternoon in front of an ATM machine. He was standing in a long queue under the hot sun. His wallet felt light, but his thoughts felt heavier. Ahmed had been learning English for 6 months through YouTube videos, short stories, and a book called The Power of Speaking. He practiced every night, whispering sentences to himself, believing that one day he'd speak confidently. But belief is tested in unexpected places. When his turn came at the ATM, the screen suddenly displayed everything in English. "Insert your card," it said. Simple words, yet in that moment they felt like a mountain. Behind him, people waited impatiently. One man muttered, "Come on, brother, hurry up." Ahmed's palms began to sweat. He tried to remember what withdrawal and balance inquiry meant. His mind froze. Then, beside him, a young girl, maybe 10 or 11, looked up and said kindly, "Uncle, you can press this button if you want to take out money." She pointed gently at the screen. Ahmed followed her guidance, pressed the option, and the machine whirred. The cash came out. Relief washed over him, but so did something deeper, a realization. That small girl wasn't just helping him use an ATM. She was showing him that English wasn't something to fear. It was just another tool, like the card in his hand, meant to serve, not to shame. As he walked away, Ahmed smiled at his reflection in the ATM glass. If a child can speak freely, he thought, then I can too. That evening, he stood in front of the mirror and repeated the same English words that once scared him. "Insert your card, enter your PIN, withdraw cash." But this time, he said them proudly, like a student discovering gold in ordinary words. Over the next weeks, Ahmed started practicing English every time he went out. At the shop, he'd say, "How much is this?" instead of pointing. At the bus stop, he'd greet people in English. Some laughed, some ignored, but he didn't care anymore. He was learning through life, not waiting for perfection, just moving forward with purpose. One day, he saw the same little girl again at the bank. This time her mother struggled with the machine. Ahmed stepped forward and said confidently, "May I help you?" He guided her through the steps in English, calmly and clearly. The mother smiled and said, "Thank you, sir, your English is very good." Ahmed didn't reply immediately. He just nodded, feeling the warmth of those words sink in. He realized that language is not about sounding smart, it's about connecting hearts. Later that night, he opened his English notebook and wrote one simple line. "I learned English at an ATM. It wasn't just a sentence, it was a story of courage, growth, and transformation." Every learner has their ATM moment, that one unexpected experience that pushes them from fear to confidence. For Ahmed, it wasn't a classroom, a teacher, or a grammar rule. It was life itself, teaching him that progress begins the moment you dare to try. So, the next time you hesitate to speak English, remember Ahmed's story. Remember that every small word you say adds value to your journey. Like an ATM that gives cash when you trust it with your card, English gives confidence when you trust it with your voice. The machine didn't just give Ahmed money that day, it gave him something far more valuable, belief in himself. So when you face your own ATM moment, don't step back. Step forward. Every small chance to speak, every tiny act of courage becomes a brick in the foundation of your confidence. Remember, English isn't a wall to climb, it's a door to open, and the key has always been in your hands. Your voice, your effort, your belief. Speak even if your voice shakes, because that trembling sound is not weakness. It's the sound of growth beginning.